Hey Cancer, welcome to your April of 2019 Sidereal Astrology forecast. So in this video, we're going to talk about all of the major astrological events taking place for you here in April. And if you do look here at the chart, you will notice that a lot of the signs here are different sizes from each other. And this is because we are using the actual size of the constellations as seen in the visible sky. So if you are new to the channel, definitely check out the link down below because this does change the signs by quite a bit from mainstream astrology. And so if you do notice some of the signs that I mentioned are different, like for example, Aries is now shifting, or excuse me, Uranus is now shifting into Aries versus in mainstream, Uranus is shifting into Taurus. If you do notice those kinds of differences, check that link down below for more information on true sidereal astrology. All right, so Cancer, the most important thing here this month, collectively speaking, is that Uranus transitioning into that 10th house. And so there will be, not all of a sudden, especially not at the beginning of the month, maybe later in the month and slowly moving forward these next couple months, is you're going to notice this shift where you'll probably find a little bit more of this excitement that you could be listening to when it comes to your public life or your productive life. So things like your career, maybe achievement, success, or doing something publicly. All right, this is where the excitement's going to start to come in. And Uranus over the next 5 years is going to help you mix up this area to try new things with your career and productive life, to experiment with it, to find more of your true self, really, and more freedom with it, because that freedom is that true self, right? So more excitement, more freedom when it comes to this productive public stuff, whatever it might be for you. So that's the most important thing. But in terms of the first things taking place here this month is coming right into the month, we do have Pluto going over that south node over here in your 6th house. And so there's a lot of emphasis here right now in terms of your work maybe, or your routine. A lot of you may be working hard in this sector, maybe the past year and a half, maybe health, diet, day-to-day activities, work, right? And so there's a lot being released here during this process. And this month, there could be more things being released. Pluto over the south node could be maybe releasing some patterns associated with your work or routine, or maybe some fears associated with it, which is then going to help empower the area and free yourself there in that regard. So great month, but especially these first few days to be non-attached when it comes to these routine or work related things, and that's going to help release a lot of that energy, and again to help you find more balance with the area and really empower the area in many ways. Now April 2nd, Mercury goes over Neptune in your 8th house. I think there was a lot of energy last month on the deeper aspects of life, like your maybe empowerment, actually transformation, maybe doing some healing, maybe shared resource stuff, maybe matters pertaining to intimacy or openness. Kind of more deeper stuff. And so it's another step in the right direction where I think you've finalized a lot of this stuff, and now there's this maybe greater sense of peace and acceptance about it with Mercury over Neptune there. And then April 5th, we do have a new moon, and that's going to be in the 9th house. So I think where there's going to be a lot of focus this month is going to be on you expanding your horizons. Some of you might be learning new philosophies, new outlooks on life. Some of you may be traveling, doing some adventurous things. Things that expand your horizons, however you might do that. So April 5th is a great time to set some new intentions in terms of doing this and accessing, again, the spirited or adventurous or abstract philosophical side of yourself that is getting activated. Then April 10th, Venus passes over that Neptune, again, solidification with more acceptance, and maybe in this case, even more enjoyment, sort of finalizing when it comes to the deeper, vulnerable, like establishing deeper connections, deeper relationships, through vulnerability, and trust in your relationships and all this. Maybe even to some values or some resources coming in terms of shared resources could be also solidification with that stuff as well. But again, it's more about that accepting nature that's really being activated with that. So a couple of things taking place on April 10th is that, along with Jupiter retrograde. Jupiter's going to go retrograde in your 5th house. I think it's been a great year for expanding your horizons when it comes to your passions or having fun, expressing yourself, getting into your creative energy, things close to your heart. Been a great year for cultivating. And so now Jupiter goes for his yearly retrograde for about 4 months. And so this will be a good time to sort of reevaluate and rethink maybe some of these passions, maybe some of these things close to your heart, to then, again, further help you expand upon them and cultivate opportunities with them. All right, and then the sun's going to be squaring up to Saturn here April 10th as well. Nothing major, But just good to be patient around April 10th when it comes to particularly, again, the work, productive life, achievement stuff with Saturn there, and also involving any type of future inspirations you may have. Just seeing the long road, just being patient there around those, just around, April 10th there. All right, then we get to April 19th. We have the full moon, and so if there was anything that started earlier on April 5th, then April 19th could be a high point involving maybe some of those matters. Again, it could have to do with your outlook on life, your philosophy, your beliefs, your adventurous side. And really what's going to help balance all this out is going to be on your practical side. So if there's been anything over the past 6 months that you've been doing on a very practical level, like learning, reading, writing, maybe communication, maybe connecting with your peers or your community in some sense, this is really coming to a completion time for the year and harvest. And again, that could be really helping you find more balance with what is this more abstract, expansive energy that you're in this month to balance it out with the more practical stuff. And so you have some good awareness, some good insight about some of the more practical things, and finding that balance between the two can be fantastic. All right, Saturn's going to pass over the south node here around April 19th, 20th. So again, things being released, in this case, maybe some structures regarding the work and routine. Great, again, to be non-attached because it's going to allow for the restructuring taking place. And yeah, some past things that are maybe some past structures, past beliefs regarding work or routine that are being released to help you, again, find more balance there and empower yourself through that area. April 22nd, the sun goes over Uranus and enters your 10th house. So this is when I think you'll slowly start to notice more of that Uranus energy we're talking about at the beginning of the video, having to do with freedom with your work, routine, or work or public life, particularly like career, achievement, success, long-term visions. This is where there is this greater sense of freedom coming in. So you may just notice a new beginning, maybe new excitement, something new and different, spontaneous, outside your comfort zone, but in a good way to, again, help spice up this area for the next 5 years. April 24th, Pluto goes retrograde. There'll be some reconsideration involving the work and routine. Again, nothing major, just part of the yearly cycle. So good to reevaluate how's the work going, or how's the routine going, how's the physical health going, these kinds of matters, especially because at the end of the month, April 29th, 30th, Saturn goes retrograde here as well. So there'll be that reconsideration there from both of those planets. All right, and then nothing major, but April 27th, Mars squares up to Neptune. So I think it's a great month for you to really put energy and motivation into your future ideals. Maybe it's things involving your future hopes and wishes. You can have a lot of drive and motivation this month for that stuff. And then also in terms of like your groups or community or friends, be some directness, some drive there as well. So just around April 27th though, just practicing faith and trust, surrendering what's outside of your control with these things, just to allow that energy to flow a little bit more. And that'll be a good, healthy way of working with this collective, maybe uncertainty or nebulousness involving the square to Neptune. All right, and what I would say is a really good way of working with this month in terms of the free will side to it is you do have your North Node shifting into your 12th house. So with all of this more like routine work stuff that you've been involved with, I think what'll really help balance that out this month, but moving forward really for the next year, is on your spiritual health. Getting your alone time, your rest, spiritual activities, listening to your dreams, developing your intuition, getting more of that spiritual health in order, because that's, you're going to find, is exactly what your physical health needs and exactly what your work and routine life needs as well. All right. So Cancer, hope you have a fantastic 2019. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care.